Now, wow, welcome to Write Your 2026. Who's like excited, don't really know what to expect, but is curious? Come on,
Me.
we got to give energy here, guys. This is how it works. What energy you put in is the energy that you'll get out. So just a reminder, a few reminders that it is being recorded. And from you guys being here, I'm taking that as you give myself permission to reuse the recording if I need to. I'll also give you access to the recording. So you can, if you've missed something today and you want to go back over it, you can certainly do that as well. But as I said, just like to acknowledge everyone who's put the time and effort to be here today. It will be a steady but a direct pace because I want to honour everyone's time, as I said. We're due to finish at 12 o'clock in 2 hours, and I've jam-packed a lot in. Yeah, Pina and Leanne, they've done a lot of work with me, so they know that I jam-pack a lot of things in. But anyway, let's just keep going anyway. So I want to ask a very, very serious question. Who's ready to be in the driver's seat and create what they would love for 2026? Show of hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I had feet as well, I'd put my feet up as well. So I'm glad that you're all here and you're in the right place for that. So Stephen's just coming in now. That's cool. So I'm glad that you said yes to that, right? Because this is what today's all about. So for those who don't know me, which I think everyone does or know of me, I'm Julie Besuttle and I'm many things, like I'm sure everybody is. I'm a mum, I'm a coach, I'm an author, and I'm also a medium. So I've met all of you guys through one of those sort of areas. And my focus for this session is to really just guide you through an engaging workshop that turns 2026 not just into a story, but actually living it. So the reason why I've brought this, why I wanted to do this is because every year I start with writing a list. Okay, I want to create this, I want to create this, I want to create this. Now, before 5 years ago, and I'll tell you what happened 5 years ago, but before then, if you could just mute everyone, Pina, just for a minute while I talk my spiel. Yeah, before 2020 actually, is when I first met Samala and Jane put me onto Samala. And I came into William Whitecloud's work. So I know some of you know it, may not know it. Doesn't matter. It's not the point. The point is, before I came into that, I've been intuitive medium for 20 years prior to that. So I've always known about this manifesting, this creating idea. But what I didn't realize is how I was self-sabotaging myself. Self-sabotaging myself. Yeah, and we'll go with that. And so, but even then, I was writing lists at the start of every year. And funnily enough, a lot of the things on that list actually did get created, but I didn't know how. I just thought, oh, okay, well, I just set an intention at the start of the year and there we go. Things happen. Some things created, some things weren't. But I've gotten smarter because I've learnt that where your focus goes, your energy flows. So, I always use the analogy, if you're driving in the car, you're driving in the countryside and you're focused on the road, where does the car go? Wherever you're looking. So if I'm driving and I'm looking at the window, what's going to happen to my car eventually? It's going to go wherever I'm looking at, right? So we know this, right? That where your focus goes, your energy flows. And so I guess in 2026, you can choose, and we're going to do this. That's what the whole point of today is. We can choose to put our focus on what we actually are going to create in 2026, but we're going to write about it. So I'm adding a bit of a slant to how I usually do this. And I've done it myself and I thought it was pretty fun. So I wanted to share it with people, which is why we're here. So I guess the key point is you can be a victim of circumstance. I know some people don't like the word victim. Doesn't matter, it's just your definition. But you can continue to be a victim of circumstance, so you can actually be a conscious creator. and actually focus, put your energy and focus onto those things that you want to create. I know that you guys already know this. For those who are watching it back, you may not know this and listening to this for the first time. But when I learned that, everything has changed. So I'm just going to put my hand up, and this is where we can unmute everyone, Pina. So I've just thrown her in as co-host. Thanks, Pina. What does it take to be a writer? Who's an inspiring writer or is actually starting to write now? Hands up, show of hands. Who's thought about writing? Yeah, yep. I know, Leanne, you've started writing your children's books. Some people have been, I know, Jane, you've been thinking about it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can write to publish, or you can write to process, or you can write just for the hell of writing. What does it take? I want to open the floor up. Put your hand up. What does it take to be a writer, do you think? Just whatever comes up. There's no silly...
Imagination.
Monique? Imagination. Yep. What else?
Commitment.
Commitment. Yep.
I'll say structure.
Structure. Love it, Samala. Yes. Yeah.
Creativity.
Creativity. Yeah.
A goal, like an end result.
An end result. Yep. You're saying all the right things, guys. Well done. But what tends to happen is, like with anything, you know, when you start to do something, and writing is no different, your default mode of all the past experiences are going to come into it. It's just, you may as well just accept it. That's going to come into it. But it doesn't mean it has to run the show. So your reservations will come up, like, I don't have time. No one's going to listen to my shit. No one wants to read what I've got to say. Someone else has read it or wrote it 50 million times before. How am I going to be any different? Who's thought of that? Leanne, I know you were writing. Have you thought that at least once in creating? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it does take imagination, and we know that. And where does our creativity come from? Our imagination. So if we know this, if we know that when we're coming into even 2026, we know there's going to be an automatic default that we sometimes can't see. And when we can't see it, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and festers in the background, right, of our subconscious, of our mind in the background. A big one for me is not being capable, right? So that core belief for me festers all the time in the background, but I know it. I know it's on the bus, so I refer to my imagination, or sorry, my mind as a bus. I know it's on the bus, but it's not going to be the driver of the bus. But I'm aware. So I've done a lot of work, and I know you guys too have done a lot of work on, you know, why you act the way you act, why you react a certain way. All of these things, we know it all comes from our childhood. But that's just our chapter 1 of life. It doesn't mean it has to keep running all the rest of our chapters in our life. And I know I'm telling you guys how to suck eggs, but for those who haven't, who's watching this back and don't know that, yeah, you have a chapter 1. Yes, it can be traumatic, and I'm not denying that. Yes, you could have had a lot of loss and grief. There could have been you could have had the happiest chapter 1. When I say chapter 1, I mean you when you first came into the world, you know, to about 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, when you come into that space. But everyone has a chapter 1. It doesn't have to be your chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get my point. So here we go. What are we doing? What I want you to do, has everyone, I've forgotten my one of my reminders, has everyone got their workbook either beside them or have pen and paper? Yeah, cool. Okay. So what I want you to do, we're just going to go straight into it. I want you to imagine you're on the 31st of December this year. Okay, so it's just before New Year's Day for 2027. So I want you to just allow yourself, give yourself permission to imagine, give yourself permission to wonder, to be curious. And I just want you to, just for a moment, and it's going to be a quick exercise, but just for a moment, fast forward, you're the 31st of December. You may have an alcoholic beverage in your hand. You may not. You may be just, reflecting on 2026. And I want you to write down in your workbook, your future self. It's on page 1. Just dot points. What are you reflecting on? What have you created? What just comes to mind? And again, allow it to come naturally. And if it doesn't come naturally, make it up. And while you're there, making it up and writing down all the things that you've created, all the things that you've done. It could be trips, it could be writing a book, it could be launching a new course, it could be a new business, whatever it is. It could be simply maintaining a loving family, maintaining focus, whatever it is. Just go for it. I'm going to do the exercise with you guys, and I've got things coming to mind already of what I'm going to create in 2026. Is everyone finding this easy? Good. I'll give you a few more minutes. Let loose. It could be even simple things like I'm thriving, whatever thriving looks like for you. Could be being healthy, whatever healthy looks like for you. And while you're there, just also ask yourself, who are you sharing it with? Who's around you? Who's in your, let's say, inner circle? Who's there sharing your creations with you? How are you feeling? What emotions would you attach to these creations? Are you feeling relief? Are you feeling inspired? Are you feeling free? How were you showing up? How did you show up for 2026? Did you have energy? Were you energized the whole way through? Did you allow yourself to have retreats, times of rejuvenation and times for just, chilling out? And is everyone, when you're done, when you feel like you're complete in that exercise, just put your hand up so I know that you're good to move on. Could even be being in love with yourself. Right. You can always come back to this, but it was just meant to be a quick exercise because we're going to do it again, but in a different way. But before we do, can I just get a couple of people putting their hand up? I'm just sharing one or two things that you're going to create for 2026. Who's going to go first? Monique.
Our writing school will have doubled. And my coaching business is just has taken off in the year.
Excellent.
It's
Great.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you had a feeling that went with that, an emotion of what that feels like? Yeah. Of course you did. Excellent. Who else would like to share? Steve.
I've got a few things down. It was actually quite easy because I've been thinking about this for quite a while. I won't tell you all of it, but a few of them is being true to myself. A big one for me is not looking for happiness from other people. I don't depend on other people to make me happy. Inner circle is what is my wife and close couple of friends, talking about mental health in a bush environment with other people. Showing up in 2026, spending more time within and learning to listen to what spirit is trying to tell me. Sometimes I ignore it. I know the messages are there all the time. But what I'm starting to learn is a slow down.
Yeah.
And so slow down is not just, sitting still, but slow down is looking about your mind and your thinking and where you put your thoughts and all that sort of stuff. So that's a few of mine anyway.
And when you're there slowing down, how do you feel? Like what would be a feeling word?
Content,
Yeah.
at peace. I've finally mastered the art of really, really having peace.
Yeah.
And it's addictive. It's really addictive. I can sit out by myself outside for hours at a time, no radio going, no nothing going, I've been making whips, I've been making knives, and I can sit there all day with nothing and be quite content and creative, and I'm just happy.
Excellent.
And peaceful.
Thanks, Steve. All right. Anyone else like to share before we move on?
Just
No?
health.
Oh,
I want to get my
health.
health good.
Yeah. When you say good health, what's that look like?
My gut is nice and balanced and not stressed. And my muscles are
Yeah.
strong. Got more
And
energy.
love it. Excellent. Thanks, Samala. All right. So I want you now in the next bit, it says what you need. So, and I know a lot of you know where I'm going with this, but play the game anyway. So what do you think you need to have all of that? All of those things. So the writing school has doubled, Monique, and your coaching business is thriving. Steve, you're having many more times of contentment and peace. And Samala, what do you think you need to have that great health? Just list them down. Doesn't mean anything. We're just listing them down. I'll give you an example. So for me, I want to have a lot of travel this year. I want to be able to go to Malta, South Africa, and the Maldives, right? So for me, straight up, what comes up for me is shit, I need money. I need money, but also, I need permission. Permission maybe from my husband to be able to make sure he can look after the kids so I could go. These are the sorts of things, what do you believe you need to be able to create all of those things that you just wrote? Could be wisdom, it could be clarity, it could be time. Time's a big one. Could be being seen, allowing yourself to be seen. Confidence. All right. You can keep writing as I said, I want you to get the most out of this session. Okie dokes. Everyone has something, yes, written down. Yeah, cool. All right. So I'm going to teach you very quickly how to use your intuition. And I know all of you, I would say, knows how to use their intuition and apply it at will. And the reason why I'm doing this is because when we do this exercise again, we're going to do it intuitively. Now, I know some of you might have already tapped into your intuition to receive, but I just wanted you to think about it logically and just write down anything that came. Because what I found in the last 20 odd years is that what I think I want is not always the same as what I would love. Because when I think I want something, it's sometimes coming from a place of fear or something that I think I'm lacking or something that I think I need to really get to what I really want. And that could be inner peace, it could be whatever it is. So I need a primer. And what I mean by a primer, a volunteer. Someone who I can demonstrate how we're going to use our intuition in this session. It's going to be really quick, really fast, to the point. Pina, you put your hand up first. You're it. Add you to the pin. So you should be able to see me and Pina, yes?
I only did that because nobody else did.
Oh, that's all right. I'm going at a swift pace.
Mhm.
Okay, Pina, this is what we're going to do. First things first, we're going to set an intention. Intention is everything. Whether you're making your choices, whether you're going for something that you want to create, whether you just get up first thing in the morning and you make an intention. Intention is everything. Because why? When you make an intention, you're setting the focus of where you want your energy to flow. And it just works. Don't ask me how, it just works. So my intention, and Pina, I'd like you to share this intention as well, is to receive a symbol. Okay? Any symbol. Now, a symbol can be many things. It can be a feeling, it can be a thought, it can be an actual physical symbol, it can be a pen. Whatever it is, but I don't want you to discount what you first get. Don't go there yet, but right, that's what we're doing. That's what we're setting an intention to receive a symbol. And this symbol is representing 2026 for you. The theme, if you like, of 2026 for you, Pina. Okay, everyone else just observe and follow on, and just observe what the symbol is that Pina is going to share. And then I might go to you and just ask you, really quickly, what's your interpretation of that? But I will just say a symbol can be anything, right? As I said before, and it's whatever meaning you attach to it. And everyone is going to interpret a symbol very differently, perhaps. Or if they're very practiced at this work, they'll start to get similar feelings about or thoughts about the same interpretation of that symbol. With me so far? Yeah. Okay, cool. Here we go. So we've set the intention. That's step one. Step two is letting go. Okay, it's letting go of needing to know. It's getting into a space where you're free of thoughts. Sometimes that can be hard for people. Sometimes the monkey mind, if you're an analytical person, a logical person that always is in your head, sometimes that can be hard. So you're just doing your best. But if you're setting an intention to let go of needing to know and just get into a space. So what I do is I imagine unzipping my physical body and just coming through my physical body as an eternal spirit. That's how I do it. You might do something very differently. You might just imagine a candle flame flickering in your mind, and that's all you're focused on. You're letting go of everything else. Then you're going to make it up. So you're going to receive a symbol, right? Intention is to receive a symbol that represents the theme of 2026 for you, Pina. You're going to let go and you're going to make it up. Whatever you receive, the first thing, do not change it, even if it's obscure or it's just a pen. Just go with it. And that's really the third and fourth. Make it up and go with it. And the fifth one is to capture it. So whether you write it down or whether you just commit it to memory, because I'm going to ask you. Okay? So let's go, Pina. Set the intention. Done that. Tick. Let go. You know, I always find closing my eyes is really good because it's closing down one of my, well, not closing down one of my senses, but it just helps heighten all my other senses. And you've got something, haven't you, Pina?
I do.
Excellent. Now, so can you share with us? I want you to share what the symbol is first.
I got an iris, as in the flower, the purple iris.
Purple iris. Okay. Now, what's obvious about that purple flower iris?
Well, they're tall. Look, I always say they're really beautiful.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, Peter. So we're not going into the interpretation of it.
Sorry.
But the image
Okay.
that you saw, was it an image or you just knew?
It was just a symbol. It just
It was
came
a
in.
symbol?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know if the flower was standing upright? Was it cut?
No, it's standing upright and it's open. So, you know, when they just start to open up and expose even that little bit of gold in the middle of them, that yellow in the center. It's not on its own. It's there's like I'm going to say a bunch of them, but it's an iris is one I'm focused on. The rest of them are kind of still twisted. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Pina. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the gallery view, just remove our pins here for a second. And okay, so Pina has just received a symbol and she said it was a purple flower iris. And then I said, what's obvious about that? And sorry, I meant actually what's obvious about the symbol in how you saw it. And when I asked you that, you said it was standing upright. There was other flowers there, but you were only focused on this one. And this particular flower was opening up. It was blossoming or blooming, as one would say. Okay. And you also noticed a couple of colors. There was purple and there was gold, yellow. Yeah. Okay. Really quickly, who wants to share what? So this is about your interpretation. What would you, if you had to interpret this symbol based on whatever comes to you, how would you interpret that symbol for Pina? Just make it up. There's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. It just is. Remembering the points that Pina said. It is an iris. That was very specific.
Oh, whoops. Whoops, sorry.
Am I talking too much?
No, I think I hit the wrong button and I went to unmute. Sorry.
That's okay. It's purple, right? And it's got a bit of gold. And anyway, we know what the specifics are that Pina gave us. Who wants to have a go? Monique.
Yeah, what stood out to me, what was obvious is that it was the only one that was already blooming and blossoming and starting. It was very pretty, and the other ones were still kind of down. And that what is obviously to me about it is that you're ahead of the game.
And Monique, thank you for sharing that. Can I ask you, if you received that symbol for yourself in that way, how would you interpret that for yourself?
I would be a lot more conservative.
Yeah. What would that
crazy.
look like?
Oh wow. I would put it on on something outside of me. That was my first. But if I put it on, if I look at it from that is my symbol,
Yeah.
um, that things are looking up and that things are looking brighter than they are, and that the things that are just around me in the current reality are not important. It's the what I'm looking at, what the flower itself is what is blossoming, and that is what is important to me.
Thanks, Monique. Thanks for being a good sport. I know I put you on the spot there, but I did it for a reason. Thank you for sharing. I want one other person. Who's it going to be? Who's going to share what they've got for Pina? Jane.
You can let Steve do it if you like. I don't mind.
I can, but Steve will get a turn.
Okay, and I've got to go at 11. So for me, I all symbols will kind of have two meanings for me, or maybe even four, five, six, seven. Um, for me, first up, I even though it is an iris, like literally you saw a purple iris, but also for me the word is iris, and the word iris is eyes. So there is a double meaning for me. So when I web the double meaning, so I also always use iris because the person I knew with the name Iris was Scottish. So personally, for me, it always means connections to Scotland or going overseas. So for me, I would say there is, and because I saw Iris as eyes, I feel like there is potential for overseas travel.
Awesome. Thanks, Jane. So coming back to you, Pina. So we've got a couple interpretations. So I'm glad that you said, Jane, you were interpreting it how you would interpret it. So if you got that symbol, it meant that for you. That's exactly what I wanted. So, and you shared that too, Monique, when I asked you about that. So, Pina, can I ask you, what does a purple flower, iris, that's standing upright, it's tall, it's one of many, but you're focused on that one, and you can see it blooming, there's some gold in it. What does that mean for you? How would you interpret that for yourself? Oh,
Well, I kind of really went to the color first. Purple, I feel, has always been quite significant to me. I go down the track of purple, third eye, crown stuff that there, and it's opening a bit more. And the gold is within. Always believed. So that to me, I go through a bit of a spiritual connection is where I'm getting at. True, Iris, when I see, same as Jane, when I saw Iris, I do feel eyes, and it's about vision and something to see. I don't necessarily see it is the one that is open, but there's a collectiveness within them. You never see one iris on their own. There are always multiple. So there's almost a community sense and a supportive sense with them as well. You never just see one. I go down further again and say that they come from a bulb that is very dormant and dark, and what you never know when they're starting to sprout and come through the ground. You sometimes don't even know that they're there. That's sort of what I get when I unpack it.
that's awesome. And so that's great. So I mean, your interpretation is your interpretation. So why do I love symbology? Because it's like your own language, right? It's your own language with yourself. But if you think about symbols just in general, there are shared symbols, right? Everyone knows the Red Cross. Everyone knows what a Red Cross means, right? There's you're communicating. Symbols are an easy way to communicate the meaning and to go to the meaning, your meaning that you're attaching to it, your interpretation of that symbol easily. Okay, I'll give you an example. So I have I can't see myself, but I have a tattoo, okay, and it's no one can see it. It's an infinity symbol. So the infinity symbol is just a symbol. Well, I can go and have a look at what infinity symbol means and all that sort of stuff and find out that it means, eternal life or what have you. But the meaning it has to me is only what matters. So Pina, having said that, Jane shared her interpretation, Monique shared her interpretation. I can share my interpretation, but the point being is it is just an interpretation. So when you attach that interpretation, and we use it all the time in mediumship, we get symbols all the time. I know Leanne will understand that, Jane will understand that. That's literally sometimes how spirit will communicate with us. They'll just give us a bunch of symbols and we have to interpret them. Sometimes it comes across and that person can resonate with our interpretation, but sometimes they can't take that information because of how we interpret it. So then we would go back and we would reinterpret it. So my point is, when you go intuitively and receive a symbol, you're bypassing all of that default setting, your chapter 1 that I was talking about before. It's a sort of like a short circuit way of getting out of your head and into your truth. Does that make sense? Yep, cool. And so, as I said, when I first asked you to sit there and think about your future self and what are all these creations that you're going to make in 2026, some of those things are just going to come from the logical mind. Who would agree with that? They're just going to be because you've been thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. So let's let's intend to now do a similar exercise to that intuitively. But before we do, could everyone follow those simple steps? And I guess for those who are watching, this might be the first time you've actually done intuition. You can't get it wrong. Intuition is about intention. Set your intention first. You've got to let go of needing to know what's going to come. What if I don't get something? What if I get something and it's bad? Or what if I get something and it freaks me out? Or let all that crap go. That's just all your old default chapter 1 setting. Let that go the best way you can, because it is a skill. We know that, don't we? It is a skill. Intuition is a skill. Everyone has it. It's not reserved for the special people. Everyone has intuition. It's just like anything else. The more you practice it, the more in tune you become with yourself. And that language, whether it's symbology, I love symbology because when I get confused, and I do, and I get overwhelmed and I get in my head about it and I get all analytical about it, that's my go-to, is to get a symbol, because I know that all I've got to do is receive a symbol and I know it's going to come and I don't know what it is, and that's okay because I've let go. And then I make up what that symbol means to me in that moment, at that time, relating to my intention. Just like Pina did. She intended to receive a symbol that was symbolic or the theme of 2026 for herself. And the themes that came out for you, Pina, from your interpretation of that is it's connection, it's spiritual connection, it's vision, it's opening up, it's the gold within. I'm summarizing, or paraphrasing if you like. And both Monique and Jane, they also touched on a similar piece to that theme, which is it's about, it means different things to different people, and that's fine. But if I said to Jane, what does Scotland mean to you? Sorry, I'm asking you.
It means cold and it means midgies.
What else does it mean? Is that where those
It means
stone circles
it means
are?
adventure. It means adventure. It means castles.
And what does that mean to you? Castles and being in that space.
Freedom.
Freedom. Yeah. Is there a spiritual sense to that for you as well?
There's a sense of like wildness and freedom. Yeah.
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 Beautiful. Thank you. And Monique, when you shared your interpretation of the flower, I can't remember what you said. If you can remind me again, how you would interpret the flower for yourself?
That it's a bright spot and it's going forward and
Yeah.
it's my focus. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's momentum.
Momentum. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you've got other things that you could consider, Pina, to help you if you were working with other people. I mean, if you're setting an intention and you're intending to receive from other people that helps clarify your symbol, great, but that wasn't the exercise. The exercise was for you to receive a symbol. for you to interpret it. I just showed you what other people's interpretation. I was just demonstrating that, okay? What comes up for you, how you interpret it in that moment, on that day, at that time, about that thing, trust your intuition. And you won't trust it at the start for people who are just starting. You'll second guess it. Did I really get a pen? What does a bloody pen mean? Pen could mean writing. Pen could be, I don't know, there's no ink in the pen. Could be that I'm exhausted. It could be whatever it is. I think we've got the point. I think I've hammered the point enough. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to just very quickly, I know you've got to go at 11 o'clock, Jane, so I want you to go through this very quick guided visualization. Okay, so if you can just make sure that you're comfortable and that you won't be disturbed. So your phone's on silent, your door's shut, or what have you. Oh, you know what? If you're disturbed, doesn't matter because you'll be able to refocus. It's fine. Now, I invite you to close your eyes. You don't have to, but I suggest it's much better when you do. If you just close your eyes and just become aware of where you are, what the chair feels like where you're sitting, or laying down, however the case may be, what you hear, just what's obvious. Do you hear the buzzing of the computer? Do you hear a lawnmower outside? Whatever it is, just allowing yourself to acknowledge what you're hearing right now. And acknowledge yourself, what are you feeling right now? Maybe physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And then I just want you to imagine, allow yourself, give yourself permission to imagine, to wildly imagine a beautiful golden veil in front of you. It's a veil of light, of energy of some sort. Could be sparkling golden energy. And it's like a veil, like you need to work, you know that you need to walk through it. But at the moment, you're just observing this beautiful golden veil of light. And before you walk through it, you're just going to set an intention. And your intention is to invoke your inner muse. So your muse, that part of you, that aspect, that connected aspect of you through all time and space that wants to powerfully express itself through you. And when you step through this golden veil of energy, you know that you're infused with your muse. You become one. It doesn't matter what your muse looks like. It could just be a knowing that you have invoked your inner muse because you've set the intention to do so. And when you step through this golden energy, when you walk into the other side, I want you to imagine that you're observing yourself on the 31st of December in 2026. Just notice where you are. Notice what you're doing. Notice who's around you. Are you by yourself? Are you with people? But I want you to intend to receive clarity on everything that you created in 2026. Everything that you created in 2026 that aligns with your heart, not the mind, your heart. Let go of needing to know what that might be. And when you step through the golden veil, just allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to receive whatever it is that comes through for you. Don't worry about interpreting now. All you're doing is just observing. Here you are, 31st of December, 2026, and you're reflecting back. And just observe everything that you feel, that you see, that you know. How are you showing up? What is your character like? How are you showing up in the world? How are you relating to other people? And just allow yourself to be wild and free and go with whatever comes. Allow yourself to feel into what you're seeing. How are you behaving? What traits did you focus on in 2026? What epiphanies did you have? What takeaways are you taking into 2027 with you? And as you start to receive, just write down what you receive. On the last page of your workbook, there's a notes section. Just write down everything that you see, that you feel, that you hear, that you know, everything. What your character is, what you're focused on, what emotions you're feeling. And if you feel like you're not receiving anything or you're getting stuck, just acknowledge that and just say, okay, but if I did know, what would it look like? What would I be doing? What have I created? Most importantly, what character are you? Describe your character. And when you're describing your character, is how you're showing up in the world. What are you choosing to believe? What are you focused on? What amazing traits do you have? What are you choosing to prioritize in your life? You may receive several symbols. It might come in just word form. It could be images. It could be anything. This is your life specifically for 2026. And your imagination is wild and open and free, and you're connected to everything through all time and space. You can actually create anything. What would it be? What have you created? And most importantly, what are you making these creations mean about you moving forward? Okay. You can just give me a wave when you feel like you're complete in that space. You can come back and do that anytime you want. So I know Jane has to go in 5 minutes, so I might just, Jane, can I just ask you, everyone, you can keep writing or you could just stop for a moment and just listening to Jane before she leaves. Jane, first of all, were you able to do that exercise?
I think it was a little bit challenging because I know I've got to go to work. So there was that, like I couldn't sort of settle very well. But once
Yeah.
I got settled, I was okay. I very much could get into the feelings. So
Excellent.
of how I wanted to feel like at the end. And yeah, so that was really nice to get that feeling in my body. Yeah.
And were you able to, did you get a specific symbol or did you get a specific character?
I got I got two symbols. One very early on when you were kind of describing it, and I was like, "Oh, that's my crazy little mind just jumping in." So and that symbol was a spider that had two legs missing with
Oh.
sneakers on. Right. So I was like, "Oh, okay, there's my crazy mind jumping in." Um, And then during the session, I got a symbol I've actually never seen before. Well, I mean, I've obviously seen the item, but I've not seen or used the symbol ever before. And it was a scallop shell. So you know, a scallop shell is like a fan. So the
Yeah.
scallop wasn't in it; it was just the shell of the scallop.
Excellent. And if you were able to, were you able to see, I know you said you could feel, I know you got your symbols, but if you were to interpret those, the spider with two legs missing two legs with sneakers on and a scallop shell, remembering the intention is this is what you've created in 2026 that's aligned with your heart. So with that in mind, what sort of things come to mind? What feelings did you feel and how would you interpret that for
So I
yourself?
guess if I was to interpret the spider, like the spider sort of doesn't care that it's disabled. It's still got its sneakers on and it's still going to take adventure
Right.
regardless of being disabled. So it's like not letting anything disable it, even though it is technically disabled. The scallop, I don't know, that's an interesting one. I was a bit like lost with that. I'm like, what the hell is a scallop? So you put me on the spot. So
That's okay.
I'm gonna have to grab something on the spot. But when I was just thinking about it then, I was like, what is it about the scallop that I really liked? And it was almost about, okay, I've got it. It like there's beauty and there's ups and downs in life, and that's normal. So every person's life is supposed to have that up and down, and that's the ridges in the fan on the scallop, and it's those ups and downs that make the life beautiful, unique, and creative.
I
So
love that.
it's for me, it's about understanding that it's normal to have that, that up and down, and to still ride with that. So it's almost like there's beauty in imperfection. So there's beauty in ups and downs, even though we might feel, shit when we're in the down, but there's actually, I love that saying, pain is never wasted. So in those downs, there's beauty found in the pain eventually.
I love that. It's the natural ebb and flow of life, right? It's the rhythm of life. We naturally ebb and flow is what you're saying, I think, and that's what I'm taking away from what you're sharing. And that even though when you're in the ebb and the shit of things, there's always going to be a flow that's coming after it, right? So they're your two symbols that you can go to through 2026. So draw them, print them out, write them down, do whatever, have it on your phone as a phone screen. but also, you know, finish the exercise when you got more time about what it means for you, and they're your go-to symbols. You're going to keep coming back to that in 2026. I know you got to go. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for bringing your energy, Jane. And you'll
Thank
get the
you.
recording anyway.
Yeah, and I'll catch up on the back end of the recording. So, yeah,
Awesome.
and thanks everyone, and I will see some of you again. Nice to see you, Leanne, and see you soon, Samala. See you, Jules. I'll talk to you soon. All right,
Okay.
thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jane.
And hi, Steve.
Hi, bye, Steve. Excellent. Okay, so I know the lovely second Leanne. I've got two Leannes. The second Leanne, I know you just came in through that visualization, but that's okay. You'll get access to the recording. You'll be able to go back and do it yourself. Just wanted to acknowledge that you came in there. How did everyone find out? Okay, I'm going to ask direct questions. Just show me your hands. Hands are yes. If you don't put your hand up, I'm going to take that as no, or not so much. Did anyone find that exercise different and receive different things to the first time you did it? You did it logically. Yeah, hands up. Yeah, Monique's a bit, yeah. Leanne's a yes, Pina's a yes. Samala, did you get something different?
I wasn't really seeing symbols, I was just seeing what I did. I didn't really-
Excellent. Yeah, well, that's a symbol,
But then I
right?
just
You
went,
know
oh,
what
okay,
you're
I need a
doing.
symbol, and I just got a symbol then. So I haven't read it intuitively yet.
Excellent. But you felt that you could see that there's a difference between, and I know you know this, but looking at it logically and doing it intuitively.
Yeah, there were different things.
Yeah, excellent. Cool. Thanks. Thanks, Samala. Who would like to share their experience in that particular exercise? Steve, then Monique. Oh,
Sorry, you've got three screens. It takes me 5 minutes to work out which screen I'm on. Mine's actually quite strong. I can feel it. My symbol's the phoenix, and it means to me that I've been through a lot of issues, I guess. But this year's me rising out of the ashes. But more importantly, it's using my current strength from my past inabilities to do something to help other people on the track as well. So what I find lately is I'm attracting a lot of people that need talking to or need advice and stuff like that. So the other thing that comes really strong, not only through here, but it's all wound up together, is I'm really getting a good sense of my soul's purpose. And so I'm not there yet, but there's something strong. There's something strong bubbling up inside me. There's something strong that's needing attention. And it's interesting that I know this year was supposed to be the fire horse year, and the fire horse year is supposed to be galloping towards your true intention and moving at a faster rate than not the last 6 or 9 years have been. And just interestingly enough, it was only 2 days ago that two people I spoke to demonstrated that straight away, where one was leaving her farm and going to live a life on her own. And I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool. About an hour later, another lady was talking to me that's got 4 kids, and she said, I've had enough. I'm going to go and do what I want to do this year as well. And I'm just like, I'm just like, wow, like, you know, the energy's there. I can start to concentrate on the energy and feel it. A lot of times I'll sit out in nature and I try and look at energy. Try and visualize energy. And one more quick thing that I'll tell you before I go is that I'm trying telepathy as well. And how that works, I was out in the bush and it was a cow that was standing across the road from the creek, and I practiced my mind's eye. The bloody thing turned around and stared at me for about 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I just went, wow. I went, wow. And like it was noticeable. So anyway, it's a journey, right? Everyone's on a spiritual journey. Well, actually, sorry, no, not everyone is on a spiritual journey. Some people are, some people not. Either way is fine. But I've got this calling that's been strong for a while, and and the calling is more so be true to myself than anything else. Follow your
So,
heart's desires.
so the phoenix that you saw, that's your go-to symbol, right? For 2026. Is that, yeah, exactly like a phoenix. It's like what Jane was saying about the ebb and flow.
Mm.
Phoenix, by their very nature, they rise, they burn, they die, they go, that, you know, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. So what was your character, right? So here's your phoenix, but here you are in the end of December 2026. What have you created?
Well, I can tell you exactly what I've created. I've created a house on
Just
acreage,
give me two things.
a house,
Yep,
and a new job, new career. And
new
the
career.
new career is something that aligns to my heart and my sole purpose.
Excellent. And how does that feel? Imagine you're in your house, you got your new career. How are you feeling? What's the emotion that goes with that?
Content, happy, and the thought, and I'll say that aloud, I've finally done it. It took a lot of years, but I'm finally here. I can finally now relax. I can now finally be myself and don't have to worry about where life's going to be. And look, this is an issue I guess everyone has as well. And I'm trying better to get out of that. Is don't live in the past. Don't worry about the future. The sweet spot's the present, and
Yeah,
that's where I'm living in now.
excellent. Thank you. So make sure you note all those down. Thanks for sharing, Steve. Was there somebody else that was going to share? Monique, that's right, Monique. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Monique.
You know, I said it was not quite as, at first it wasn't, and then I got just this feeling of peace and a chalice.
Ooh.
And a chalice was just being filled and overflowing, and there was nothing I needed to do. It just kept being filled and it kept overflowing. And it really just, what it meant to me was let it happen. Just receive, flow over, share. There is so much, and stop controlling, because you cannot control a chalice that is being filled out of nowhere and just keeps overflowing and keeps being filled. And it was really one of those feelings like just allow. It really felt like don't force things, don't try too hard, don't effort, just let it happen. And it really felt as well that one of my big thing is I'm always trying to communicate with my horses, and I know I can, but I don't allow myself.
Mm.
And but
That's
it
good
really felt,
self-awareness.
yeah, I just don't, nope. And then I know exactly where it comes from now. But it's very interesting. It's just the feminine energy, which I have resisted for a long time.
So we've got a
Oh,
Monique who's a feminine, flowing, chilled receiver who's communicating with horses at the end of 2026.
yeah, and even wearing a dress every now and then.
Well, of course,
I
feminine
mean,
beauty.
I laugh because I never do.
Yeah, so the emotion you said there that goes with that is like you said receiving. So it's like it's peace. It's peaceful.
Peace.
Peaceful is not an emotion, but if you were peaceful, what would the emotion be?
It's a very calm confidence, and just faith, just know that it's all happening, and just very peace, yeah, very
Happy.
happy, yeah, but
Excellent.
not
Right.
giddy, not even giddy, just satisfied, fulfilled, yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So write that down.
Yeah.
Thank you, Monique. All right. And I just want to check in. Everyone else, you got that? You got something? Leanne and Samala? Yep. Okay. Right. So that is the end of 2026. Okay. Those symbols that you received, or even the emotion, what I want you to do is just have a go. Just have a go. That's what we're doing, right? We're just caution to the wind. We're just going to have a go. I want you to just write as if you are, so you're writing about a character and the character is you. Okay, so you're writing about, you're just going to say the character, like you can connect with a character that you like, that just comes to you intuitively, or you can just imagine yourself as a character at the end of 2026. And I want you to write about what you're doing, the emotion. So if you've got the character, which is yourself, right? You're projecting into the future. You are the character. Let's just say, for example, my character is, I don't know, a blend between a queen warrior and an island, like island princess, right? Let's just say they're my two characters in my head. So when I go into the emotion of those characters, I know with the queen warrior, she's direct. She stands up for her heart. She's not cruel, but there's a she's steadfast, she's stoic, she's resilient, she's direct. But there's also the islander princess there, comes with this beauty, like she's got this immense beauty that's projecting out of her. So I'm connecting in with these two characters, but you don't have to have two, but I'm just saying that's what my characters might be. So I'm going to write about these two characters. And I'm going to bring the emotion into it. So I'm going to give you an example. And this could just be a paragraph, right? We're just starting. I woke up, I don't know, June. I'm going to call it June. June woke up from her slumber in her beautiful oceanside home that's immersed in natural tranquility. She sees the glint of sunlight on the ocean as she looks out her bedroom window, and she gets up, she makes her morning coffee, feeling vibrant and full of life. And then she goes and sits out on her balcony, looking over the ocean, looking up at the mountains behind. I'm making this up too, by the way. That's the whole point. And she's just feeling very focused. And she brings out her journal and she starts writing. And she starts making all her intentions for that day. And she's going and she's allowing herself to feel every single intention she's writing down. And she notices the phone is ringing, but she chooses not to answer it because she's focused on her, because her heart matters. Her heart comes before everybody else. She's feeling very relaxed. I can keep going on, but you get my point. Now, just write. This is called the madman phase. Don't sit there and think, oh shit, have I spelt that correctly? I didn't put a dot there. I didn't cross that T. Don't worry about that. You can edit it later. But I just want you to connect with a character first. This character is representative of you, who you just felt, who you just saw intuitively. Okay, so Stephen, you shared your example. Let's go back here. Yeah, so you could talk about, and Steve woke up, or Steve was outside waiting for the men to arrive as they then traversed up into the bushland behind his, I don't know, bush house, whatever it is, right? And so you actually creating the story that you're going to actualize. Does that make sense? But you're using your imagination. If you can imagine it, you can create it. The problem is people don't allow themselves to imagine enough. They can go to a certain bit. Oh yeah, I could get a new job. Yeah, you could, or you may not. You may not have a new job. It might not even be a job. It might be just a calling to bring to create a men's gathering that that you can take up into the bushland of your home, where they can speak freely and express themselves and be held in nature, and in that masculine energy or even feminine energy, whatever it is. You see what I'm saying, Steve? You got the gist? Make sure you bring emotion into it. I'm going to give you a good 10 minutes. You're just going to write. But I want you to imagine you are already that character that you just felt and saw and created in December 2026. And you're just going to write a couple of paragraphs if you can, whatever you can. Is it unclear to anyone what the exercise is? Character, emotion, behavior, how they're spending their time. Just write. What's the theme? The theme could be, I don't know, the phoenix, as Stephen said, rising from the ashes. That could be the theme. And he's going to use himself as the character and the things that he's going to create. And he's going to bring that into a story. You cool, Samala? You got the point? Yeah, cool. All right. I'm going to let you go. 10 minutes. Write profusely. Whatever comes, make it up. We're good? Okay. So, show of hands. Who found that hard? Or challenging, I should say. Or not? Who found it flowed? Excellent. Who would like to share who would like to be brave and share? Leanne, Jago, come on down.
Hello, hello.
Hello, my
Okay,
dear.
so I obviously missed the first little bit of the meeting due to technical issues.
Sorry,
or
that was
husband
my
issues.
bad.
No, actually it was technical. So I'll go with my little story and imagining where I am. So riding, and my character is Lou. So riding along on her bike, Lou is feeling all the energy and power of the nature and beauty around her. Through the tree-lined streets and paths, breeze blowing through her hair and the sun on her back, birds in the trees, rabbits and kangaroos feeding on the grasses. How wonderful it is to be here in her favourite part of Canberra, her home by Lake Yerrabi, full of swans and pelicans and sounds of children laughing at play, riding past happy people out for their daily walks and catching up for coffee. Lou cannot wait until the grandchildren come by again and feed the ducks and walk around the lake, loving the freedoms of where we live. Now that Lou only works 3 days a week, her time is her own, and she plans her holidays next year with friends, celebrating their birthdays. And then heads home to relax in the pool with her hubby, and life is exactly how it should be. Soon the property purchased in Newcastle to share with visits with family will be ready to visit.
Wow. Oh my God. So can we give her give Leanne a clap for that? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well done, Leanne. And
Yeah.
can I just check? You've never written before? Have you
No.
authored anything?
Oh, I'm not authored anything. The last time I've written things is to in school essays where I'd met certain movie stars and just fell in love overseas on holidays and married them. But so
Wow.
really, no.
I thought you did very well. I was there. I was imagining. Could everyone feel and be there when Leanne was sharing? I could imagine being there. I can imagine seeing the kids and everyone happy. And I love that you're only working 3 days a week, and that you've got your new home or investment in Newcastle, was it? Yeah. Beautiful. That's awesome. Thanks, Leanne, for sharing. Very brave of you. Would anyone else? Who else? Not would anyone. Who else? Pina.
I'm just going to do a blurb. I'm not going to really read out the whole lot because it's gibberish. But my character's name was Iris, believe it or not. And I'm just going to say, so Iris knows this is halfway in between, so it's not going to really flow from where it started. But Iris knows she's focused, keen and confident at work, but she can't wait for the weekend. Time out to be a nobody, disappear into the water and float. Such freedom when you let go. She gets the balance of things when her head and heart call for time out. Just float. The saltiness of the water and the freedom of being completely natural, unapologetically real. And he loves me for that. She laughs again. She's sure that the people in the car next to her are watching her, thinking she's mad. But that's because I was driving, or Iris was driving, and she's just reiterating her day and her thoughts, and she knows people are watching and she just doesn't care. So
I love that.
yeah, so that's just a blurb out of the page here, but yeah.
And how did you feel in writing that? Did it just flow?
It did. Yeah, it really
Excellent.
did. Yeah.
Excellent. And in that, it has the things that you want, that you've created, right? Because remember we
Yes.
went to, yeah. Excellent. Good job. Thanks, Pina. Anyone else like to share before we move on? A bit about their blurb? Nope. Okay. But everyone was able to write, is my point. Just, yep, thumbs up, happy face. Samala, were you able to? Yeah, excellent. Okay. All right. So what you just did was you wrote, right? Obviously. But you allowed yourself to imagine, rather project forward to where you want to be in December 26 this year. And you allowed yourself to imagine and to really become immersed, aligned, whatever the word you want to use. You really allowed yourself to go there. Now, if I had asked you to do that straight up when we first met this morning, who thinks that they would have been able to just do it? No questions asked. Yeah, no? You probably could have done it, but would you have done such a beautiful job after you've gone into your intuition, you've allowed yourself to be there? Excellent. So I am noticing the time, we've got half an hour, which is great. What the next exercise is, I want you to do this. Okay, so you've got I want you to finish that chapter. That's the last chapter of 2026 for you, right? Not as in last chapter of your life, but the last chapter of 2026 is exactly how you just imagined it, all the things that you created, making sure that you feel and bringing the emotion into that chapter. Now we're going to come back to February, right now. Now we're going to receive a symbol, just like what we did for December, but we're going to receive a symbol. Our intention is to receive a symbol for the month of February that aligns and directly feeds into December's chapter. Does that make sense? I'll give you an example. Okay, so I'm going through the steps. Remember, I've set an intention. I'm going to receive a symbol that is symbolic for February, but I know that it's going to align and get me to eventually my last chapter in December, where I'm the Queen Warrior, Island Princess, living in my oceanside home, or at least being on a retreat there, looking at the ocean, right? Do you see what I'm saying? And so I'm going to let go of needing to know what the symbol is, because I don't know. I'm just going to go into a place of, like I said, I unzip my body, imagine my pure spirit emerges. I'm just going to shut this window 1 second. And as I do that, I'm imagining a golden veil of light, and I'm going to walk through there. And when I walk through there, I'm going to receive a symbol for February, as I just mentioned. And so as I do that, I step through and I see a snail. I just made it up, right? That's what it came, a snail. And what's obvious to me about this snail is that it's moving at a snail's pace. So it's very slowly moving. But what I notice and what I feel, the emotion I feel from that snail symbol, is that I'm moving slowly but surely. So even though I may be taking my time, I'm really creating and setting myself up to live my chapter in December. Does that make sense? And this snail is just taking everything in. It's like really slowed down, super chill, one step at a time, looking around. Okay, yep, that's what's happening around me, aware of what's going on, aware of its surroundings, but it also knows that it has a hard shell, and that's hard shell for protection. But it also has a nice soft gooey side, that soft inner side. So now I'm going to go write a chapter, and this time the character is me as the snail. I don't have to write it is a snail. I could if I wanted to, but you want to stay with the same character name. So for Pinot, it'll be Iris again, Iris in February, whatever symbol you get, and you write about it. But remembering the character, which is you, representation of you, the feeling, the emotion that you're feeling in February. We're making this up. We're just allowing it to come intuitively. What you're doing. What's this symbol doing? Or imagine what that symbol would, what would you be doing as that character in February that you know leads to your last chapter of 2026? That's clear to me, but I just want to make sure that's clear to everybody else. We're receiving another symbol, and this symbol is for February you. And that symbol is how you're going to be, how you're going to show up, what you're doing, whatever it is, but you know that it aligns this, because the whole 12 months, well, it'll be 11 months, but the whole 11 months will line up with that last chapter that you've just wrote. Who's scared? Who's excited? Right, go, let's go. And I give you 6 minutes this time. Pick up the character of you. You're in February, you're receiving a symbol, and you're starting to write about you as the character, the emotion, what you're doing. Okay, so again, you're going to come back to this if this is just to get you in the zone, right? So we've looked at December, we've looked at February. Now, given the time, we're not going to be able to go through all the months, but you're getting the picture. What we are going to do, I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to share something. That one. Okay, can you tell me if you can see that? Can you see a document and it's called My Character's Arc? Yeah? So you may or may not know, but in story writing and books, in films, all that sort of stuff, you always have characters, obviously the protagonist, the antagonist, the support characters, and the protagonist always goes through an arc. So if you think of, it's like not always the hero's journey, but sometimes they start off as normal day living, right? This is my normal mode, what's that? It's that TV, that movie, Everything is Awesome, the Lego movie. He starts off, I don't know if you've seen it, it's a children's movie, but the character starts off doing his thing, plodding along, just whatever, doing the norm. But then as he goes, things start to come in that makes him change, right? In some way. So we're going to do our own character's arc. We've just looked at December. I just said Warrior Queen, Island Princess. That's what I'd love, right? That's what I'm creating. That's the last chapter of 2026. I've just went and looked at February, right? Which is a snail, right? So here, when I wrote about that really quickly, I'm taking my time, I'm being aware and being present, being careful not to overcommit, stress myself out, allowing the compulsion to do more flow through me, but staying the course. And I could keep going on. So what you guys have just wrote is your February, right? This is your starting point. This is where you are. What we're going to do, we're going to jump March, April, May, and we're going to go to June, which is it is halfway through the year. I'm going to illustrate what I mean. We're going to do the same exercise. Eventually, you do that same exercise for every single month. And you're letting go of needing to know. But you've got to maintain the intention that every month you're going to receive a symbol for that month. And you're going to write about your character in that month relating to that symbol, knowing that all these months together ends up at the end of your character's arc. Is that clear? Yep. So, for example, June. I just did June while you guys were doing February. I got a comet in the sky. That's all I saw. That was the symbol. But what I felt was it was just passing by. So it's like in June, I would start writing a story about, okay, well, in June, I'm feeling I'm on a trajectory. I'm on the course. I'm staying the course. There's a lot of momentum. I'm fast moving. There's a lot of energy going around. I'm traveling, or I'm preparing to travel, I see. But there's something mystical about this travel, because I see the stars, I see the universe, I see star people, I see magic, I see communication. And then I'm just going to start writing about that. Make sense? Before we go to that, who is going to share their February? Just a piece, like just maybe a paragraph. Yeah, Monique. Thank you.
So my character's name is Avalon, and she's the one that fills the chalice. And she is standing in front of a huge boulder, and it's blocking her way. Basically, she falls asleep, and she starts dreaming, and she sees herself picking little flowers on her knees. They're so tiny, she's on her knees, and suddenly she looks up, and there she sees a little tunnel. And that's when she wakes up and goes through the tunnel.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you're taking on that character for the month of February, what's your key takeaways there? So you now have got an image in your mind of Avalon, right? She fell asleep. Okay, so she's in the sleep state, or one would think the imaginary state, or the imaginative state, or the creative state, whatever that is. She's
Yeah.
allowed herself to go in there. And when she goes in there, she can see the way through.
Yep.
So how might you use that imagery and what you've just wrote? This is for the month of May. So you can keep referring back to this through the month of May. Okay, there's a big boulder, there's a challenge ahead. Okay, oh, hang on, I'm going to go back into Avalon. I'm going to go back in and pick up that character, pick up that emotion. I know what I need to do. I need to just be in my creative space, my imaginative space, and let that guide me.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Can't wait
Yeah.
to see what's happening in June for you. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to go Leanne Blessington. Leanne B. Thank you, sharing, Monique. Sorry, Leanne, I'm going to put you on the spot, my love.
That's all right.
So share your February.
Okay, so my character is Tori, and the symbol that I got was fire.
Ooh.
And so I wrote that Tori is excited to take action, clearing out the old and creating a free and new space that allows a new energy to come in, facing the clutter and things of old and keeping only things that matter to the heart and not the head, dealing with stuff. The creation of new allows creative flow, the building of my studio, a sacred space, a space where I want to sit and create, a vibrational place whereby the snow gums meet the earth and connecting everything to me.
Beautiful.
Facing
sorry.
the last thing was the facing the fire is better than running from the fire.
Oh, love that. And
Yeah.
look, fire only burns for a minute, right?
Mm.
So if you were to apply that to your month of February, you now have a visualization of Tori, right?
Yeah.
Which is representation of you. She knows that there's going to be fire in the month of February, right? It's like a spring cleaning in February.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the old, allowing the new. What else? You keep going. What else is your interpretation? What are you going to keep coming back to in February?
So I want to set up a studio. I am setting up a studio. I've got a pottery wheel coming, and I have to face the shipping container, which is going to be my studio, which is filled with stuff from previous years. All my kids, every painting that they've ever done, and they're like in their 20s now. They couldn't give a shit about all the things I've kept. So it's like getting rid of all of that.
Wow, might be a big bonfire.
Facing it and getting rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent. Well done. So I'm looking forward to your studio.
Yeah,
So
I can't wait.
So for the month of February, it's about literally getting rid of the old to make way for the new.
Yeah.
And you know the only way through it is through it.
Yeah.
You can't keep sidestepping it.
We keep closing the doors of the shipping container and not dealing with it, and it's got to be flung open, and we have to deal with it.
And now you could go even further, because I know you well, Leanne. You could go and receive a symbol, intend to receive a symbol as to how you might do that. Like you might be support. It might be a fun. How do you want that to be? Do you want it to be fun and easy and effortless?
Yes, please.
So you create that, right?
Yeah.
Because where your focus goes, your energy is going to flow.
Yeah.
As you know. That's awesome, Leanne. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Welcome.
All right, guys, how are we? We've only got 10 minutes left. Is everyone getting the gist? I think we are. So I don't think we're going to have time because I wanted to honor everyone's time, but I was intending to get you to do that for June. Like it's a nice halfway sweet point. But as I demonstrated or illustrated rather in that character's arc, it's the same process. You set the intention to receive a symbol for that month. And that symbol, you're going to go into that symbol. And as I said, as we know, it can be anything. It could be fire, it could be whatever it is. But your intention is also to receive a symbol that directly relates and follows each month to end up in your last chapter of 2026, which you've already done. You already know where you're going. And you will see, I find it really interesting and fun because I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in next month. I might have an idea and think logically, oh, yeah, this is going to happen or that's going to happen. But I have no bloody idea. It could be, I don't know. Who knows? I might be going away next month. I might be going away the month after. Who knows? But do it intuitively, and that's the fun piece because you don't know. But here's the thing. By allowing yourself to be open, by allowing yourself to be intentional and receive a symbol, letting go of needing to know what symbol you're going to get. Don't think about it, don't force it, but go with the first thing that you get, and then you write about it. But you put it as in you're writing about a character, which is you, and you're interpreting the symbol, and that then becomes your chapter for that month. But you've got to remember the emotion with it. So, Leanne, the emotion, what I felt when you were sharing, correct me if I'm wrong, but the emotion that I was feeling for you for February was like it's a challenge, like it's like it's hard work, like there's some not indifference, there's resistance to it.
Yeah, there is resistance because there's 20 years of crap there. Yeah, there's resistance, but also we're going to Japan for 3 weeks and we're not back till the end of February. So maybe the fire is also to be fast about it.
Yeah.
Deal with it quickly.
It could be to put it all in the fire.
Well,
that'd be quick.
As I was talking to you, I realized that my husband lit a fire this morning and was burning all our accounting information from our old business. I hadn't logically thought about that, but he was already starting to burn stuff from it. So
well, there you go.
Yeah.
So now you've even now given yourself a deadline.
I know. I might have to go February/March.
That's all right. I mean, thanks, Leanne. Thanks for being a good sport with that. So, show of hands, is everyone getting the gist? Are you enjoying that process of moving into it intuitively and writing a story about it? And how bloody simple is it? I don't know how many people I've coached that says, I want to write a book. Okay, cool. And then they've written a book or they haven't written anything. And then they come back again in 3 months' time. I want to write a book. Okay. What are you doing about it? Oh, well, I've wrote it. Okay, well, great. You wrote it. Well, what are you doing with it? Oh, I'm just not sharing it with anyone. I'm not having a go at anyone here. Please don't take it that way. But I do have somebody in particular that I'm coaching, and yeah, they've been talking about writing for about 6 months now, and they've only just started writing. But you've just seen how easy it is. How easy it is. You get the character. You get the emotion that goes with it. You've got the theme. The theme is where you want to end up in December 2026. The theme is your year of 2026. Does that make sense? Yes? Excellent. So in your workbook, as I said, I've only allowed a page, but I mean, I'm happy to send the Word document if you'd rather than a PDF. And then you can just write straight into it for each month, whatever you receive, the symbol, the emotion, then start writing a chapter about it. And by the end of it, you now have your go-to for the whole year. You know where you want to end up. And look, there's a caveat with that too. Things happen. Something might happen in March that does not align with what you were receiving right now. Doesn't matter. Go with it anyway, because you've set the intention. You want to receive, you want to be where you felt you were going to be in December 2026. And you've now just created a loose framework, a loose structure, if you like, Samala. And as we know, sometimes we dip in and out of structure, in and out, in and out. Any questions about that? Any comments? Anyone like to share?
That was great, Jules. Thank you very much.
It was great. I didn't get that workbook though. I don't know where that was.
Oh, really? Shit. I think I sent you an email though, didn't I? I mustn't have attached the workbook. Okay, I'll send it to you, Samala. I'll send it to you.
Thank you. Maybe I didn't look properly. Have a look again.
That's okay. I'll send it all to you again as a Word document, because I find it easy with a Word document. You can just type straight into it if that's easier. Okay. Well, look, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you were all very awesome and open to it. And I guess the main message I wanted to get across is that it's super simple if you make an intention. And what you can create with the power of your mind is phenomenal. If you can imagine it, you can create it. And how cool will it be in December? And I must make a note to send you all an invite at the end of December to bring these along and see how you went.
Accountability.
Oh, no, not my job to be your accountability mirror, but I'm just curious to see how you went. Was it useful? Was it not useful? I'm sure it's going to be useful. Now, guys, I'm wrapping up. Thank you very much for coming along and allowing me to record and appreciate your energy. If you are interested, I am running a warrior workshop, which is online again. It's free. And it's aligned with my book. So I am publishing a book this year. It's a non-fiction book. I'm not sure. The working title is Warrior to Warrior, but jury's out on that one. But yeah, this warrior workshop it's online. It's about 2-3 hours if you're interested. I'll send you the details. You can sign up. Don't have to sign up, but it's free. But it will be recorded, so it's the same sort of deal. I'm recording it so that I can then share it again if I need to for other people who wanted to come, couldn't come, blah, blah. What you'll get out of it is you'll learn from lived experience 15 unshakable truths that I've found with a bit of a mystic but practical lens on it. Being a mum of neurodiverse kids, but also I think I'm neurodiverse. I think I've just worked out, which is cool, whatevs. I'm also a medium, as you know, and a coach and an author. And I also have the whole boring government side of me as well. So there's a lot packed in this hot little book, and this workshop is just going to give you a bit of a taster of the tools and strategies that are in that book. So anyone interested? If you're not interested, that's totally cool. I'll send you the deets. I'll leave it up to you. Anyone like to go out and share one last thing before we leave? Monique.
I love this. I
Excellent.
absolutely loved it. I did not know I could come up with stuff to write. I do. I have a little book that you see back there, and I wrote that, but that was about horses. It's
great.
There.
Yeah. Excellent.
And I wrote that in a week. It's but it was a fun challenge about horses, about my experience with horses. But
That's amazing.
This is amazing to really get into the end of it, into the end result, and then that it works so well.
Yeah, because you've allowed yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Yeah. So
yeah,
I'd love to come to your next one.
Oh, excellent. Thanks, Monique. And please, what I will do is I'll just create a maybe just a messenger chat. You can take yourself off if you want or what have you. But does everyone use Messenger? Because that way you can keep continuing on with each month. And if you wanted to, if everyone's keen, I can open up the Zoom room again. We can come in and we can actually do readings for each other on the symbols that we get.
Yeah.
Just to provide a bit more oomph or insight.
I think that's even a really great prompter, like for a bit
do
of
it.
hi, yeah, that's right. Hi, how's everyone going with March or whatever, just that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I'll make a note of that. And all the very best, guys. Have an awesome Sunday, and I shall see you again
Wonderful.
soon.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Julie.
Thanks, Jules.
Thank you.
Bye.
That's amazing.
Bye.